You're listening to Scratching and Thriving, a lifestyle podcast hosted by two dope professionals who are passionate about empowering people to thrive. I'm Dr. A.
And I'm Brandon. And we are two longtime friends who met about 20 years ago during undergraduate studies. And we took two different paths in life. I'm a healthcare executive and lifestyle guru.
And I'm an educator and entrepreneur.
And we are here to bring you the content that will help you thrive.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy JC, and you're listening to Scratching and Thriving with Dr. A and Brandon.
Good day.
Hey, Brandon.
How are you? I'm good. How are you?
I'm well.
Good.
Excited for today.
Excited about what?
Our interview with JC, none other than JC, R&B
right.
artist, No Filter.
That's right. I do like No Filter. I like it. It is a good song. I like the message behind that one. I also like Suicide by him. The cinematography along with the song is super powerful, especially what's going on today in the world. It really sends a very strong message.
It does. You really have to listen to the lyrics of that song and, even watching the video to get the full effect of it.
Right. It has to be a simultaneous thing so that you really truly understand what he is saying.
And it's so powerful because he is so talented and he has such a powerful backstory. A lot of people don't know some of the things that he has gone through to sort of make it in this industry and to really share his talent with the world. So I'm excited for our listeners to hear his story, talk more about his music. So let's get started.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us, JC. We appreciate having you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about JC.
Oh, man. I'm trying to summarize that. I'm pretty laid back, man. Like I'm definitely a people person. Of course, I love music, but I'm a people person in the sense that I really enjoy helping people. Even with music, I like the service side of the industry through my songwriting, vocal production a lot, and just building relationships with people while I'm doing what I love.
So, did I read correctly? You're from Nashville, right?
I'm from Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay. Well, we have something in common.
You from Nashville?
I'm from Memphis.
Oh, okay. Look, that's our neighbor.
It is. But it's so funny to be so close. It's like two different worlds.
It is. Memphis that's a different. It's totally different from Nashville.
It really is. So being in Nashville, has being in that country music environment inspired you at all?
It actually has. I didn't realize it until I really got heavy into songwriting. And, I've been in Atlanta since 2007. So when I moved to Atlanta and started writing with other songwriters and working with, other producers and stuff like that, they would say, man, how you hear that melody? And, where did you come up with that cadence structure or something like that? But really, it may have derived from a country song or a bluegrass song, just stuff I heard kind of just growing up, not intentionally in all honesty, but it just becomes kind of like a part of you because of the culture. So it's definitely giving me a little spin on things, depending on, what the project is. So I think it's an asset.
So what would you say, or who would you say inspires your music today?
I know I got my love for music from my family because we just grew up as a singing family. Just the holidays, for example, coming up. I mean, we sing at every event, and it's not that anyone was just superb at it. It's just like a thing. It's part of our family culture to actually sing Christmas carols and at the family reunions. And I'm a PK. My family is real church oriented, so we sing gospel songs at every event.
That's true.
What's up?
Yeah, just kind of developed a love for it. So my only passion for music now is love and probably a little bit of insanity. as well.
And you know what? I was listening to and watching your video, Suicide.
Okay. Yeah, that's my
man. That was a powerful message.
Thank you.
Tell us, what were you trying to say with that whole video? Because it's a whole package. It's not just a song. It's a song and a video. It's like a whole vibe that you have going on. So tell us what inspired it, because some people may not have seen it. So kind of tell us what had inspired it and what you were trying to say with all of it.
Well, it gets really deep because my mom, I guess, well, let me start with the song. The song, in all honesty, was not my idea. It was a friend who was looking to release a song, and he was just like, man, I'm sending you this beat. I just want something big. And that was the only description I was given. But because of the times, see, I write on the mic. So I'm coming up with the song as I'm kind of singing melodies. And that's how real it was, because I really don't write from personal experience. Most of the time I'm writing R&B songs or pop songs. So it's just more about clever punchlines and strong melodies. But in this particular case, the song just came out as what it was because that's what was going on at the time. So I didn't even finish the song because I said, oh man, this is not what he's looking for. This is going to be too deep. And so I sent it to him, and that's exactly, he was just like, whoa, like, I didn't think you were going to do a topic like this. I don't know what to do with it. He ended up just saying, man, you should put it out. And so I woke up the next day, added a second verse, and then it just came together. I mean, that whole song, the video, everything was over a period of maybe 6 days. Like, doing the song.
I'm going to tell you, that's a really deep song. Killing Me is Killing You. That really makes you think. You know what I mean? What you do to me, it's a boomerang. It's going to come back to you. So be careful how you treat people. And you were talking earlier about coming from a real religious and spiritual family. That's what we teach people.
Exactly.
It's a message of love, like, because when I had a choice to make when I said I was going to finish the song, I said, okay, now I'm all for the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm all for, like, I serve the community here in Atlanta and have for years, volunteer work. I've even worked in the community. So I went to HBCU. I'm all about the Black community. But what I saw that was missing is it was still people coming from different sides, which is still the racism at the end of the day. I come from a biracial family. My parents are biracial. So I'm like, well, what is the overall message that I'm supposed to convey in this love? So that's what it was coming from, because it also applies to us. So we kill each other.
That's right.
So when you kill me, you're killing your own people. When a white person kills me, you're still killing a piece of yourself, because we all derived at some point, from the same, and we came from the same place. So
right, exactly.
Now
I want to talk to you about your creative process, but before I do that, you said you went to an HBCU. Which school did you go to?
I went to Tennessee State University.
Okay. Well, we're Xavier, right? So we definitely have a love. You better tell him.
Look, the way he said, "Oh, like I didn't like that."
Listen, it's all love. It's all love.
My best friend went to Tennessee State.
See,
and we always go back and forth. I said, "You go to that state school," and he said, "You went to that bougie school." And it's a competition back and forth.
No, Xavier is look. That's awesome. Like, and I'm not gonna lie. I went to the school because I told my parents, like, I'm not even going to college, and I was a straight A student, and they were like, yes, you are. And,
that's right.
I was like, no, I'm an artist, like I'm not going the path you are. And my parents are my dad has a doctorate of education. My mom was a counselor. My dad was a principal for years, and then ended up on the board of education. So they're all about education. I was like, I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to be honest. I went to TSU because it was familiar. It was convenient. And I got a scholarship. And I was like, I'm just going to do it real quick. And it ended up being one of the best experiences of my life.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, shout out to Tennessee State University.
Right.
Yep.
Shout out to Xavier University of Louisiana.
HBCUs. That's
yes.
right.
That's right. Now, let me ask you about your creative process, because you said that you create your lyrics like on the fly, on the mic.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
And I think I read someplace that you committed yourself during the pandemic to record every single day. Is that right?
I did. And I haven't done it the whole year, but I definitely started that way. Yes.
That's awesome. So what is your creative process? Because that takes a lot of talent to be able to record like that and knock it out of the park the way you had.
Well, first of all, thank you. But for me, it's crazy. I was talking to one of my friends earlier today, and he was like, man, I just think that's crazy how you just, and I said, man, it's really not. I said, I'm just as fascinated when I see someone draw a picture, because I can't draw, you know, and so, you know, when I see someone draw, I don't care if it's sketching, I don't care if it's on an easel, like I cannot relate to that. So I don't really know how to explain. I just think it really is a gift. And when I say that, I don't mean that arrogantly. I mean that we all are given gifts. It's very easy for me to do. I don't really realize what I've done until I've done it. I just kind of say the vibe and then sit back, and people tend to think it's a little better than what I think, you know, like, so I'm sitting back, I'm kind of like,
But you know what? You're always your toughest critic.
Right. Definitely mine.
Yeah, and I think see, people who are humble and people who are goal-oriented will be your toughest critic.
Right. Right. Yeah. But that's really it. I mean, I guess I would say my biggest approach is just to do it. You know, instead of so many people in the music, it's oversaturated now. Everybody writes, sings, you know, produces, does music. So I'm like, well, who is actually doing it? You know, I know people, they do it casually. Like, you call yourself a songwriter, but you write once every 2 weeks, you know. But to me, I write a song versus watching a movie on TV or watching. So instead of 2 or 3 hours of TV, I just record a song, and it's something I love to do. So it really doesn't feel like something that's so elaborate. You know, it's just kind of like, yeah, all right, I wrote a song today. Big deal. You know,
right. It comes naturally to me.
But I enjoy it.
Right.
I enjoy it.
So
consistency is key.
It's true. So what's on the horizon for your career? What should we expect from JC in 2021?
So 2021, I definitely have restructured a lot of the business side of things that I'm doing, especially as a songwriter first. Embarking on like a new situation that is going to allow me to work a lot more with major artists, which isn't always my biggest thing. I just like to work, and I work with independent. I work with everybody. But it definitely helps to have your name associated with, you know, and they forget, like, you can work with somebody 5 years ago and it doesn't even matter right now, you know. So I am aware that there are some people I want to work with, you know, in the near future that I feel are going to help me get a lot more notoriety for what I'm doing. Because I write clean music. You know, that's another thing a lot of people, they don't even realize, especially when I get to some of the more urban R&B vibes, they don't even, you know, I've had DJs say, hey, man, I'm finna put this in rotation, send me the clean version. I'm like, it's only one version.
So, speaking of clean,
okay,
that's a good segue to No Filter.
Gotcha.
Tell us and the listeners what inspired that and what were you trying to say?
So again, and I wish I had these elaborate stories. I wish I had like, well, you know, one of those stories like, well, it's this girl that I dealt with and she was just had low self-esteem. I don't have a story like that. It was literally just being in the studio, trying to be creative. And the producer, Marley Waters, had sent me a pack of beats, and I had written a song prior to that and I had some time left in the session. It was under an hour, about 30, 45 minutes. And I just told the engineer I wanted to start, just get a vibe going, and I'll come back and finish it later, or I would finish it at home. And that's what came out of it. And I think I was on Instagram, and I always try to be, clever. So I was like, let me think of a way to use the whole filter concept or the no filter hashtag, but make it into something like with a twist. So that's where the song came out of. It just kind of came out.
It's a sweet song, and it's a timely song because right now, so many people are putting on airs about their lifestyle and who they are and what they're experiencing, and beauty is being challenged. You got things like the Crown Act that was just passed for addressing Black women in their hair. So it's a really timely song, and although it may not have been inspired by a deep story, I do think the impact is going to be deep because women always look for this in the reinforcements of beauty being broader spectrum. And I love the fact that you put Amy Deanna on the cover.
Yes.
I thought that was a bold choice and a beautiful choice at the same time.
I think I texted her. Well, I DM'd her because I don't know her. I DM'd her on Instagram for probably over a year because the song I did prior to now, the song was older. When I got ready to put it out, that's when I decided to put Jacquees on it. But I had been reaching out to her because I knew it was something I wanted to do in the future. And she probably thought I was trying to holler at her or something. She wasn't replying. And I sent her a snippet of the song this time. And she replied right away and was like, yes, you can definitely use my pitch. And she told me what I could use. So what I've tried to do is, since I write the way I write, I try to do the more creative side of making the song bigger on the back end. So I said, okay, I could put somebody like her on the cover. Even in the video, I didn't really get to do everything that I wanted to spell out. And there's some reasons for that. But part of that is the reason why that song is what it is. Like, there were people involved that wouldn't let it be what I wanted it to be. Like, I wanted more representation of different types of women in the video, and we even tried to do that, and it still wasn't what I would have wanted in a perfect world.
Do you feel like your process or your creative flow is stifled in the industry?
Absolutely.
Why?
Like that, like a lot of labels, like I get like a label offer because I'm 100% independent. So labels come at me pretty much on a frequent basis, every other month or so. And it comes with the catch of changing the direction of what I'm doing. But this is what we see that we want to do. We want to take what you're doing, but we want to do it this way. And I'm like, nah, that's not what I want to do. And there's no price that can make me compromise my morals and values. It doesn't exist because I don't want to be one of those artists that's just unhappy. I got money, but I'm really in turmoil the whole time I'm releasing content.
About what you produce. Yeah, because music changes culture. It impacts culture. And so you got to be conscious about what you're putting out there into the atmosphere. Yeah, so I applaud you.
And I'm not even trying to say that I'm not an inspirational artist. Like, I don't even want to act like I am. Right. But just even if I say, okay, I don't want, strippers and bottles, popping bottles in my video. Like, I don't. That's not the vibe. I don't want to just pull up to a strip club and shoot a video. I don't want to do that. I want to think bigger. I want to get to the level of some of the things I've seen a Maroon 5 or a Coldplay do and really spell the song out. Like, that's what I would have liked to do with no filter. And it's hard to do because a lot of people, their vision is in a box of just like, well, we know we could throw this on IG or throw this to the general public and, get all the attention necessary to carry the song without doing all that extra stuff.
So I dig that style. I think that's very admirable considering the environment that we're in today.
Thank you.
Where you hear all kinds of things. I mean, some of these songs be blowing my mind, literally.
Okay.
So we like to ask all of our guests, our guest host, what is your definition of success? What does success look like to you?
Wow, that's crazy. You said that because I always say no one gets to define success except for you. And
that's it.
There was a time where I didn't really talk about my medical history, and I had mentioned it in an interview, and somebody asked, they was like, why do you never tell people that? But I mean, for me, it's just singing because I've had 5 vocal surgeries. I'm not supposed to be able to talk. I'm definitely not supposed to be able to sing. And that's documented, like that's factual information. I had the first 2 at the Vanderbilt Voice Center maybe 12 years ago now. Then I had my tonsils taken out there. And then I had surgery here at Emory, maybe it's been almost 4 years now, because I had polyps. And the anesthesia caused me to have a seizure after the surgery, the last surgery that I had, and I had to have the surgery over again. And the Dr. Klein at Emory, he told me, he was like, man, listen, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, at this point, you throwing up a prayer. Like, I'm just gonna tell you, like, you don't have anything there, scar tissue. So I tell people I don't even have vocal cords. Like, I just have scar tissue. So I don't even know how I'm talking to you now. So success for me is simple. It's just being able to do what I love. So it makes everything easier. Like, I just, if I record a song, it's already successful.
It goes back to what you were saying too about, you know, you being gifted and talented. You are a walking blessing. And I think you should share that story more, because it goes to show you, with prayer, faith, and talent, honey, you can go a long way.
That's all you really need.
Yeah. You are right. And that's why I've tried to make, like I said, success just being able to actually act out that gift, but also just appreciating that alone, because it's the rest of the people that are around you that have you thinking, oh, but what you gonna do with it? Oh, well, you got this many streams. Like, man, you should be in a million. That's their definition, you know. So I've had to work on. Although I do have other goals, you know, to surpass where I am now, I'm very content. Like, if that makes sense.
So when you're not writing music, what is JC doing?
I love movies. I'm a movie guy. Like, I love just to watch movies, and I play basketball.
What's your favorite movie genre?
See, that's rough. Cause I'm getting into just watching anything that's good at this point. I think COVID did that to me. It's not a movie, but for example, something like Tiger King, I would never watch that, and I sat up and binge watched the whole thing. Like, I was like,
right, watched it twice.
That thing was crazy.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe
that was a crazy show. I know.
I was like, I'm sorry, this is good. Like, I was just glued.
Right. That was a woo.
Yeah, I'm real goofy, so I'll find myself watching something like some crazy Will Ferrell movies, but then I watch something real serious, like, you know, like a Tyler Perry film, or, you know, just something. I do like stuff that's based on a true story, because I like to. That's the educator in me. I like to watch it and then go research, you know, what I watched to find out more about, you know, something that I may not have known about before. But I'm be honest, I'm kind of all over the place with the movies.
Okay, that's fair enough.
You give me a good movie
with Netflix and Hulu. That's how
Netflix,
it is.
Hulu, Prime, everybody.
Yeah. If y'all got suggestions, I'm all ears. Like, I'll go check it out.
I did watch Black Box with Felicia Rashad recently. It was pretty good.
Well, is that on Netflix?
It was pretty good. It's on Prime.
I didn't know about and I love Felicia Rashad.
Me too. Oh.
That's my TV mama.
That's like my mother in my head.
Exactly.
It was pretty good. It was interesting.
All right, Black Box. I gotta check that out. I'm actually working with an artist tonight. I'm writing for an artist tonight, but I typically, you know, if the session is a little early, like, I can't go to sleep when I get home, so I just watch movies all night.
I know that's right.
You working with artists. What would be your ideal collabo? Like, that one collaboration that would just make your whole entire career, what would it be?
It's so many. That's so hard to say, because it's so many artists that I love so much. Like, God, But I will say, as far as new artists, I would love to work with her because I think she is the most talented artist that I've seen in a long time. From the fact that she can play so many instruments and she's a writer, she sings incredible. I just think it's no telling what we would do.
Well, hopefully she's listening and we can make that collab happen.
Hey, she can do all the singing. I just write
it. All right, sounds good. We appreciate it, sir. Hey, that was a good time.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all made it easy. I love easy interviews.
Thank you.
All right, we'll chat with you soon.
All right, thank you.
All right. Good. Bye. You too.
All right, Adrian. I think, you know what? I think that we did preach a word to the folks today.
All right.
Good conversation.
And we want to hear how you're thriving.
Right.
So let us know. Let us know. What's your definition for success? What does it take for you to thrive? What has been your experience? We want to hear that from you. So share it with us so that we can learn from your experiences and other people, some of our other listeners and thrivers can learn as well.
Right. And look us up on Instagram, Facebook, and send us emails because we do want to hear your success stories. And, you know, we also want to hear those things that you may be struggling with because, you know, we may be young, but we've been through a whole lot of trials and tribulations that we can tell you how to overcome some of these humps. I'm just telling you.